All right, guys. This pipe bomb, it's fresh. It's on our mind. It's pipe bomb 2.0. And this TKO creative beef. I'm sure you guys have opinions. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say. Aaron, what do you got?
Holy shit, a lot has happened since fucking Friday, God. Well, it started off with the reveal of Pat McAfee on TV, which absolutely fucking pissed me off watching him. Like, we really have 20 years of story between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, and the guy that Randy has been talking to has been Pat McAfee. Like, it would have been better if like Randy was on the phone with his voices, like literally talking to nobody. That would have been better. That would have been way better. And then after that segment, I jumped on Twitter and then just WWE was fucking getting it from behind. Just the amount of shit that was being taught was insane. And I think WWE saw that. I'm like, yo, like at the time we didn't know that it was an order from TKO that they wanted to insert Pat McAfee in this storyline for ticket sales, which absolutely makes absolutely no sense. Pat McAfee for ticket sales makes no sense. So at the end, like there's reports saying that at the end, Cody Rhodes was sent by creative to cut a promo off the cuff, which wasn't on the rundown sheet. It was not planned. He just said go tell him that pretty much like, hey, this is not our fault. Like we're trying our best what we're given, and this is not our fault. And that kind of started, and then that leads to Monday with CM Punk in the promo, where he first he talks about Roman Reigns, start still promoting the match for WrestleMania, and then I think he goes off topic with the whole McAfee and the lowering the prices and all of that. And there's also reports saying that the creative had an outline of what CM Punk wanted to say, and he just went out there and said, "Fuck that! I'm not saying all that." And there's multiple reports of that, and him going off script. And yeah, that was a good promo. Like you can like I've been watching wrestling a long time. When I can tell a promo is scripted or they're trying to get a message across versus someone talking from the heart and saying like, yo, like this is a problem. TKO is a problem. And he's name calling. He called out McAfee, called out TKO. And he's the only guy that has the balls to do that. Because there's also reports that, the top tier talent has been complaining about ticket prices too. Like they came up to management like, yo, why are these so high? And like, like WWE can't do much about it. It's all TKO. So I think they sent the right guy to kind of, send the message.
Omar, you're already grinning. Talk to us about the pipe bomb. Talk to us about Cody Rhodes. Talk to us about Pat McAfee, and talk to us about TKO and creative, the so-called beef.
Start off with the beef, and start off with the TKO nonsense and WWE, like creative quote unquote beef that is going on. And I think this is, Paul Levesque. How do you say his name? Is that how you
Levesque,
pronounce it? Levesque, whatever your name is. I think it's
appreciate
Paul
the accent.
Hunter. Fucking, I think it's him playing the game of politics. It's time to play the game. And he's spreading this on the dirt sheets. And he's saying that a few years ago and last year, he blamed The Rock. He said, this was the reason why things are going bad, that fucking we needed a pivot and all of that stuff. I truly think that it is him creating, they know that their ticket sales are shit. They know that this is one of the worst watch WrestleMania or worst fucking build-ups for WrestleMania. They know that their fucking ratings were terrible on fucking SmackDown, and they're fucking grasping for straws, bro. They're trying their hardest to make sure that they sell these tickets, and even if it's a tiny ticket drop and they have someone with corporate permission like CM Punk go out and talk about these ticket sales, then they're hoping that people will buy the tickets and be like, oh, we lowered the tickets, we did all of this, and then be a fan of, Triple H's booking at the end of it. So I think it's all fabricated. I'm not really big on this, TKO and creative beef. I think that that's a part of the storyline that they're trying to craft with Pat McAfee and Randy Orton and all of this stuff. That's what they did with The Rock previously. He was an extension of TKO and all of this stuff. So I I don't buy it. And one thing I do buy though is that these fucking ticket prices are too fucking high, bro, and they need to fucking lower that shit. So CM Punk, outside of that, true or not, scripted or not, let's fucking keep talking about the fucking expensive ass ticket prices. That's why you guys aren't able to sell shows, and that's why maybe you guys have terrible ratings, is because, families and like kids and regular people aren't incentivized to consume your product because they just can't afford it. It's unattainable.
So I listened to both of you guys. I understand what you're saying and your comments are valuable, but I don't agree. The ticket sales are down because the product is bad. The product has been bad. Creative has been bad. This isn't something recent. The card is so good right now. The card is solid. Ticket sales would have been doing just as good, if not better, had creative not gotten involved at all, have not tried to force storylines onto things. There's history between Cody and who is it? Cody and Randy Orton. There's history behind Roman Reigns and CM Punk. The stories write themselves. If they would have just done solid solid media, physical media, done just that, ticket sales would have been just as good, if not better. It's a spectacular failure. Creative is just throwing stuff onto the wall and seeing what sticks. This whole TKO creative beef is just, it's created. It's created. It's not true. It's not based on anything. Pat McAfee was brought in at the same time as Jelly Belly or Jelly Roll, and brought in at the same time as I Show Speed. These brain rot YouTubers and Pat McAfee and Logan Paul, like tickets, and people are rejecting that. Then you have the corporate mouthpiece, the corporate mouth, the corporate Muppet, CM Punk, coming out and trying to do a pipe bomb 2.0. It wasn't a pipe bomb. It wasn't a pipe bomb. There was nothing. It was a corporately sanctioned conversation that he went out there and did. As a matter of fact, WWE reposted it and called it Pipe Bomb 2.0. It's just, he's not a rebel anymore.
Actually, WWE did not post it on the social media, like raising the prices. They have not posted that, and they're making shit about it.
But they did post a pipe bomb. You know what I mean?
On
So
YouTube, yeah.
So it's sanctioned. It's agreed upon. He's not a rebel. He's not a rebel. He never was a rebel. Not even then. He's pretending to be a rebel. His rebellion is being marketed. He's that fucking guy with that fucking meme going, "How do you do, fucking fellow kids? I'm a rebel. Let's rebel together." That's what the fuck he's doing. That's not, y'all can't gobble this shit up. And then AJ Lee is fighting for the championship. I don't even know what to say.
I think that has a lot of people confused because WWE is known to put real stuff into their storylines. They have a history doing that, like the CM Punk and McMahon feud. Like that was actual like beef, and they worked that into storylines. The Matt Hardy and the Edge and the Lita trio,
Right.
where like that was real, and they worked that into a storyline. So I see why people think like, oh, they're only doing this for a storyline. Like if people are already talking about it, why not work that into a storyline?
That's exactly what they're doing. In my opinion, I think they saw people online saying that CM Punk needs to, stop being a corporate guy and needs to go out there and do a pipe bomb. That the ticket prices are terrible, and that like they need to shake stuff up. So that's what they tried to do. And people are already saying like there's beef. That TKO is fucking shit up since they've been here. So why not try to captivate it? It's smart storytelling. It's
Exactly.
getting us
Yeah.
talking, like, it's getting us going, but I still think it's a work. I still think,
Work.
it's all
It's
perfectly,
an absolute work.
fabricated. I think it's a good work. I think it's getting me like somewhat involved.
That's pro wrestling. That's the
Yeah,
whole
but
point.
I still think that it's not, the TKO is not gonna automatically drop ticket prices. I think they're just doing that, dangling the fucking carrot in front of our poor little asses, out in front of my poor little ass, and be like, I want $20 tickets, and they're not gonna give me $20 tickets, even though y'all should. Y'all could afford it, you fucking rich bastards.
God, I remember buying $25. Well, not me, my dad, because I didn't have money back then. But $25 tickets did exist back then.
Well, some of us might not have any money now, and we still pay, and we still go. So no hay pedo, hijo del saco. But you know what, man? I totally think it's a work. I really think that it's a spectacular failure. I really think that if they can capitalize on it, and I actually thought about it today. I think that it could be a really interesting angle if we have a corporate stable, of wrestlers with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, maybe,
No, John Cena now.
and Roman Reigns, and all these old head guys, and throw in the corporate sellout, CM Punk, throw him in there, and make all these young up and coming guys, these rebels. You know what I mean? I actually think that would be a really good angle. I don't know, man. Are you guys excited? Are you guys excited for WrestleMania?
I'm just excited that potentially they're listening. I mean, we all know they're listening to the to the fans. And during WrestleMania is when they're more willing to pivot to fan reaction. And so I'm hoping that if people keep on talking shit, keep on saying that they're disappointed about this build, that they have no choice but to just show out and to fucking do fucking well. Like, bro, like y'all, I think a lot of people's just enjoyment in WWE is like fringing on this, WrestleMania. And I think they really need to just, like I mentioned, just fucking let all of these guys wrestle, and have a good fucking WrestleMania.
I hope this is a wake up call to WWE and see how we're reacting and see what we're saying and hopefully they're listening that this is not good. This whole storyline with Cody and Randy just imploded and just turned into something not even about Cody and Randy. So I hope that they see this and learn from this and maybe do better.
This is your boy Gwex from Small Package Wrestling. Go ahead and give us a like, follow, subscribe on all your socials. And
we post daily on YouTube with their weekly show, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit.
And we cover WWE, AAA, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Consejo Mundial, and local indie wrestling promotions.
And look at us. We're terrifically well spoken and we're dashingly good looking.